You've seen it. You felt it, that subtle look, that flicker of attention. She lingers around your social media. You catch her watching your stories. Maybe she likes your post just often enough to stay on your radar. But she never reaches out, never says anything, not a word, not a text, not a sign that she's willing to break the silence first. And you start to wonder, why? Why is she watching me but saying nothing? What does it mean when someone is quietly observing you from the sidelines without ever making a move? Tonight, we're diving deep into that silent space between two people. The psychology behind her silence, the truth about modern attraction, and the reasons why, even when she's clearly paying attention, she'll choose to stay in the shadows instead of stepping into the light. In today's world, where we're more connected than ever, it's strange how emotionally distant people can feel. You could be in her orbit daily, on her feed, in her mind, in her memories, and yet you never hear a single word from her. It's not that she doesn't care. Oh, she does. That's the confusing part. Her silence isn't always a lack of interest. Sometimes it's the result of something far more complicated. Let's start with the obvious one most men overlook: fear. Fear of rejection, fear of seeming desperate, fear of misreading your vibe. You might think, I've given her all the signs, I've shown I'm open, but to her, the space between her reaching out and you rejecting her feels like a free fall, a bottomless pit. Women today are expected to be confident, bold, assertive, and many are. But when it comes to matters of the heart, most still carry old fears, deep scars, and unspoken doubts. She might admire you. She might even replay your interactions in her mind, wondering what they meant. But reaching out, that's vulnerable. And in a world where vulnerability is often seen as weakness, silence feels safer. But fear isn't the only reason. Sometimes it's pride, and sometimes it's pain. You don't know what she's been through. Maybe someone once made her feel small for trying. Maybe she reached out once before to someone who took her kindness for granted, and she swore to herself she'd never be that girl again. So instead of texting, she watches. Instead of talking, she scrolls. She watches you live your life from behind a screen, quietly hoping you'll notice her noticing. You might be wondering, why not just let it go then? Why keep watching if she's never going to say anything? Because that's the thing. We live in a time where watching has become the new way of staying close. Liking a post is a modern-day nod. Watching your story is the equivalent of passing you in the hallway with a glance. It doesn't say everything, but it says enough. Enough to make you think. Enough to keep you wondering. And if you're being honest, part of you likes it. That feeling that someone out there sees you, thinks of you, remembers you, even if it's from afar. But here's a truth that stings. Sometimes she's watching you because she's hoping you'll reach out first. See, for some women, especially the emotionally guarded ones, it feels impossible to go first. They'll flirt with their presence, not their words. Their presence online becomes their way of saying, I'm here, I still care, but I'm not going to say it. You might think she's playing games. But the reality is, this isn't a game to her. It's self-protection. She's spent years learning how to seem okay, how to pretend she doesn't care when she's hurting. And now, when she sees you, all those walls go back up. She'll let you know she's still around, but she won't let you in, not unless you knock. And even then, she might not open the door. There's another possibility, one that hurts even more. Sometimes she watches because she misses who you used to be, not who you are now. Sometimes her silence isn't fear or pride, it's closure. Quiet closure. Watching you from a distance might be her way of saying goodbye, without saying it out loud. Some people let go slowly, not with words, but with distance. You become a memory she checks in on occasionally, just to see if you still feel the same. But here's the most powerful truth of all. Her silence does not define your worth. You might feel tempted to decode every little thing, every like, every view, every interaction. You'll wonder if there's meaning behind it, if there's still a chance. But sometimes the real power is in letting go of the need for clarity, letting go of the idea that closure always comes in the form of a conversation, because real peace, it doesn't come when she finally reaches out. It comes when you no longer need her to, when you step into your own energy, your purpose, your growth. You stop waiting for others to validate your worth. Whether she watches you or not, whether she ever reaches out, no longer controls you, because you're not here to be chosen. You're here to be undeniable. Women can sense that shift, that energy. When a man is no longer seeking her approval, she feels it, and sometimes, ironically, that is when she finally reaches out. Not when you're waiting, but when you've already moved forward. And if she doesn't, that's okay, too, because your life isn't a story about the ones who stayed silent. It's about the moments when you chose yourself anyway. She may never reach out. She may keep watching from a distance, from the safety of her silence. But you keep living, you keep evolving, you keep rising, not because she's watching, but because you are. And that, my friend, is the kind of man she'll never forget. So if you're in that space right now, seeing someone watch you but never speak, don't chase ghosts. Don't read too deeply into the silence. Pay attention to your own growth, your own goals, your own energy, because the right people, the ones meant for you, they don't just watch, they show up. And when they do, you'll know. Until then, keep rising.